In this video, I'm going to be dealing with logarithmic quadratic equations, and therefore let's start right away. That if I have 3 into 4 to the power x, close this, minus 8 into 2 to the power x plus 4, that this should be equals to 0. And therefore, now if we want to form a quadratic equation, remember a quadratic equation is in form of ax squared plus bx plus c in this case, and this would give me a 0. So out of that, I can see that I can make 2 to the power 2 out of 4. So out of that, I say 3 into 2 to the power 2x, close this, minus 8 into 2 to the power x plus 4, and this would give me a 0 still. And then I can form a quadratic equation here. 3 into, this is, I'm going to have, this is 2 to the power x, but squared, minus 8 into 2 to the power x plus 4, this would be equals to 0. Now, having got so, the next thing is, I'm going to say that to get the value of 2 to the power x, I'm going to label this, let 2 to the power x be m. And so I'm going to have 3m squared minus 8m plus 4, and this would be a 0. Now, using the quadratic formula, I know that m will be equals to negative b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And having done so, the next thing here is to plug in my values. I'm going to have here, I'm going to have, this is going to be 8 plus or minus root of, I'm having b squared, which would be 64, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which would be a 4, all over, this is going to be 2 times 3, of which in this case, I'm going to have, this is going to be 8 plus or minus root of, this is 64, this is 12, this would give me a negative 48 all over 6 in this case. So after subtraction, so this would be 8 plus or minus root of 16 all over 6. Then when I work out this, you find that this would be 8 plus or minus 4 all over 6. So by 2, I'm going to have 3. By 2, I'm going to have here 4. And by 2, I'm going to get 2. So either m is equals to, I'm going to have 4 plus 2 all over 3, which would be 6 all over 3, giving me a 2. Now, we had 2 to the power x, and we wanted to get its value. So, m is 2 to the power x. So, 2 to the power x, in this case, would be equals to 2. Now, using laws of indices, how we are having the same base, and therefore, x would be equals to 1 still. And even if when we use logarithm, it still gives us a 1. So let's get the other value of m. So m for the or part, m be equals to, we are having 4 minus 2 all over 3. And this would, and so this is the value of the second value of m. Now the next thing is to get the value of x. So 2 to the power x would be equals to 2 all over 3. Now if I get x log of 2, which would be equals to log of 2 all over 3 still. And then x would be equals to log of 2 divided by 3 all over log of 2. And therefore, x in this case would be negative 0.5850. And hence, this is the value of x. Now, let's try another example. If I have 3 to the power 2x plus 1 plus 26 into 3 to the power x this is equals to 9. Now to work out this, now previously if we have m to the power n plus k, this is the same as I'm having m to the power n times m to the power k, and therefore this here is what originates from. So this gives this, and therefore this symbolizes this. So this is what we are going to do for the above example. So this is going to be 3 to the power 2x times 3 to the power 1 plus 26 into 3 to the power x, which would be equals to 9. And therefore we are going to have 3 into 3 to the power x, but this would be squared, plus 26 into 3 to the power x equaling to a 9. And so we are going to have give a letter for this. Let n be equals to 3 to the power x. And so we're going to come here. This is going to be 3n squared plus 26n minus 9. This would be equals to 0. And so let's use the quadratic formula. So n would be equals to, we have a negative 26 plus or minus, we're going to have 26 squared minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 9, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 3. And so we are going to have n equals to, we're going to have here negative 26 plus or minus under root here. So this is going to be 676 minus, this is going to be a plus, because negative times negative we get a positive. Therefore this should be 108 all over 6 in this case. So having done so, the next thing here, we're going to say that this is equals to negative 26 plus or minus under root should be 7, 8, 4 all over 6. I would have negative 26 plus or minus, this is going to give, this is going to be 28 all over 6. And so the next thing here, so by 2 I'm going to have 3 by 2, by 2 this is 14, and by 2 we're going to have 13. Therefore either n be equals to negative 13 plus 14 all over 3, of which this would be, I'm going to have 1 all over 3 as the value of n. Therefore we had 3 to the power x, now in this case, which is equals to 1 over 3, of which 3 to the power x is equals to 3 to the power negative 1. Therefore x would be equals to negative 1 in this case. Now for, let's say, if someone had used logarithm still, it would come out. Someone would say that we're having x log of 3, which would be equals to log of 1 all over 3. And this x would be equals to log of 1 out of 3. And so x would be equals to, this would be negative 0.477 divided by 0.4771, of which this still gives us a negative 1. And so using both ways it still comes out. So the next value of n is equals to, we're going to have negative 13 minus 14 all over 3, and this would be equals to negative 27 divided by 3. of which this is negative 9 in this case. So if we try to work out this, if we say that for 3 to power x is equals to negative 9, but we don't have the logarithm of a negative 9, and therefore I would express this if we say that x log of 3 is equals to log of negative 9, of which this is undefined, and therefore what we are going to take, this is undefined, and therefore we are going to take the value of x to be equals to negative 1, because we don't have the logarithm of a negative number, and therefore the answer here we are going to consider x is equals to negative 1. Now let's try another example. And now for this example, if I have x to power 2 out of 3 minus 5x to power 1 out of 3 minus 6, and this giving me 0. So to form a quadratic equation, I will say that this is x to power 1 out of 3 minus 5 into x to power 1 out of 3 minus 6, so this would be equals to a 0. And so to work out this, let k be equals to x power 1 out of 3. And so we are going to say that k, which would be equals to, I'm having, this would be negative b plus or minus root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a, of which during my substitution I'm going to have negative b, which would be 5 plus or minus root of, we are having b squared, which would be 25 minus 4 times 1 times negative 6 all over 2 in this case. And therefore I'm going to have something that's going to be equals to, I'm going to have 5 plus or minus root of, you're going to have 25 plus, of which in this case 4 times 6, we are going to have 24 all over 2. And so this is going to be equals to 5 plus or minus, we're going to have here, that's something that's going to be, this is going to be 49 all over 2. And so I'm going to have 5 plus or minus, this is going to be 7 all over 2. So let's get the values of k in this case. So k, either k would be equals to 5 plus 7 all over 2, which would give me, this is going to be 12 divided by 2, this case giving me a 6. Now having got so, the next thing is let's get the value of x power 1 out of 3, which would be equals to 6. And therefore 1 out of 3 log of x be equals to log of 6. Therefore log of x would be equals to, we are going to have log of 6 divided by 1 out of 3. Therefore log of x would be equals to, and so this would be 2.3345, of which to get the value of x in this case we get the antilog, and therefore x, and therefore we are going to say that x will be equals to 10 to power 2.3345, and this would be equals to 216.0230 in this case. And then this is the first value of x. Let's get the other value of x. If we have, for example, another value of k, that k equals to, you're going to have 5 minus 7 all over 2 in this case. Now having got so, the next thing that we are going to do here, this is going to be equals to, we're going to have 5 minus 7, this is negative 2 all over 2. And so if you divide this, you're going to get -1. And so we're going to say x to the power 1 out of 3 is going to be equals to -1. And so to get the value of x, we're going to say 1 out of 3 log of x would be equals to, we're going to have log of -1, of which this is undefined. And therefore we take our solution for the value of x to be this, because we don't have the logarithm of a negative integer, and therefore the value of x would be this. Now let's try a different example in this case. Now if you have e to the power 2x minus 4e to the power x plus 3, this gives me a 0. Now let's make a quadratic equation here. E power x squared minus 4e power x plus 3, this is equals to 0. So let's p be equals to e to the power x. Therefore we are going to have p squared minus, this is going to be 4p plus 3, this would be equals to 0. And so p would be equals to, I would have 4 plus or minus under root, would have 16 minus 4 times 1 times 3 all over, this is 2. Therefore the next thing here we're going to have here, this is going to be 4 plus or minus under root, I'm going to have 16 minus, in this case I'm having 12 all over 2. And so the next thing I'm going to have here, this is going to be 4 plus or minus, this is going to be the root of 4 all over 2. And so here I'm going to get 4 plus or minus 2 all over 2. And so if I divide throughout, this is going to be equals to by 2, 1, by 2, 2, by 2, 1. And therefore it is 2 plus or minus 1. And then either I'm having p is equals to, I'm going to have 2 plus 1 giving me a 3. Having known so, then e to the power x would be equals to 3. Then let's introduce ln on both sides. So ln of power x equals to ln of 3, of which this would remain x equals to ln of 3, of which you can convert this to decimals. X would be equals to 1.0986 in this case. And for the second case, for the OR part, p is equals to 2 minus 1, of which this would be equals to 1. Therefore e to the power x equals to 1. Therefore if we introduce ln of e power x equals to ln of 1, of which ln of 1 is a 0. So I'm going to have here x equals to 0 in this case. So this is how we determine the value of x for this example. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. See you next time.